Hi and welcome to my 5 building tricks in Rust that you may not know. Now these are all new from my last 5 tricks, with the exception of one which is an alteration which makes it even stronger. Now we're doing a competition for this rug. There's 2, all you have to do is comment below and tell me which trick you think is best. Now we have a lot of tricks to show. One you may want to stay for at the end is a bit of a game breaker. Now we'll quickly jump in and I'll run through all 5 and how to do them. Now I want to set a little bit of a challenge for you. If you don't know all 5 of these tricks, I want you to leave a like in the video. That means I know that these are relevant and worthwhile pursuing in later videos. Now as I said, this first one is a change from a trick that I showed before, where basically you would go through windows. Well, now I've altered it so you can actually go through doors as well. Even if you upgrade this to metal, it still works, it doesn't matter. All you have to do is have privilege and you can put a chair down, basically put ladders and pop straight through. This means you basically don't have to have doors further up, or it's going to be harder for people to actually raid through because they have to go through the floor instead. Now this is a bit of a game changer for solo players if you use it properly in early game, because it means people are going to have to spend a hell of a lot more to actually raid you, which we all know that is what you need in early Rust. So as I said, this is a bit of a change from the first way I showed it. I just manipulated it a little so it actually works where it's a doorway. So you can use this, then put the floor in place when you have a ladder and make it fully securely. So basically people will have to go through the floors or the door frame to actually progress in the base. It's something I'll actually put in a base very soon. Now this next trick was showed to me by Josh Jr. He's in my Discord. Basically you can peek shotgun traps through doors. Now I know you can do this through walls, I haven't worked out how to do it properly yet, but through doors can be quite OP. As you can see, spawn a player in, it dies straight away. Now you're probably thinking, well, these stick out, people will see it straight away if it's nighttime, or if you stick something in front of it, i.e. a chippy machine or a large box, they're less likely to see them. Also, if you have them in some sort of drop down where people drop down into a bunker, good chance they won't see them at all. This can be very effective and probably save you from being raided quite a few times if used properly. Now as I said, you can open and close the door just as normal. You have to have stairs and upgrade it to stone first, then place the traps after the door is already in place. Take it to the furthest point. You can put it further back, but in testing it found that the shotgun didn't actually damage anyone, so it has to be as far forward as possible to actually be effective and work. Now you can unload and reload with the doors shut. That works fine. It's just if it's too far back for some reason, it just doesn't actually cause any damage to the player that's jumping into that gap, so bear that in mind. Do it properly or it just won't work at all, but a very handy trick to have up your sleeve. Now this next trick and the last trick were found by someone else, and I want to take a second to show you his channel. This is Buds. He is very much a trickster for building in Rust. Relatively small, but he spends a lot of time trying to break the game like I used to, and he's very good at it. Now remember the barbecue, how it used to let you get through walls? He's done it again, so you can actually get barbecues through walls. As you can see, barbecue is against a metal wall and you can clip through and get it. Now this is ideal if you want to hide and make your honeycomb into storage areas. Bear in mind you can't lock them though. Now to do this, all you have to do is put it at an angle, line it up like I am now, drop it down and put your wall in place. It's very easy to do, but also very easy to mess up. Now please go and check Buds out, his link is below. Said this in the last trick is very much his. He spends a lot of time trying to find different ways of breaking things. He's been on the channel before, but I thought it was very relevant to show and credit him, because we all know we don't want to do a Prince vids and pretend we made it up when we didn't. This is very much one of Bud's. So ideal place for this, as I said, would be in honeycomb, because you can't lock it, so bear that in mind 100%. It's fully usable and very useful. Out of all the tricks that I've showed you, this is pretty much the biggest game breaker of them all, especially if you like unlootable. As I mentioned, this is another one from Buds. he has managed to find a way where you can actually loot boxes through floors. Now I've altered a little bit inside and tried to change it up a little bit, but it's pretty much the same premise. You basically look along the crack until you actually get access to the box. Now this is not easy to do, it takes a lot of time to get the hitbox, but when you do, you can clearly see that you can access the box. You can use it as a normal box quite willingly. Just remember, you're going to have to sacrifice having a half wall underneath or a wall underneath. So if people are raiding through the side, they're going to get through to the next parts very quickly, so bear that in mind. But you can use this in pretty much anywhere in your base, so it kind of takes away the need for a bunker if you think about it. Now, out of all the tricks that I've showed you, this is pretty much the biggest game breaker of them all, especially if you like unlootable. As I mentioned, this is another one from Buds. He has managed to find a way where you can actually loot boxes through floors. Now I've altered a little bit inside and tried to change it up a little bit, but it's pretty much the same premise. You basically look along the crack until you actually get access to the box. Now this is not easy to do, it takes a lot of time to get the hitbox, but when you do, you can clearly see that you can access the box. You can use it as a normal box quite willingly. Just remember, you're going to have to sacrifice having a half wall underneath or a wall underneath. So if people are raiding through the side, they're going to get through to the next parts very quickly, so bear that in mind. But you can use this in pretty much anywhere in your base, so it kind of takes away the need for a bunker if you think about it. I'm not a big fan of bunkers, I think they're boring. They're strong, yes, but they're boring. Now, key for this, because you're going to want to do this first before you put the floor on, make sure you put a code lock or key lock on, because anyone can access that box. They can't damage it, they can't do anything to it. They may be able to get fire down that gap at some point, however it's going to take a long time to do it. Now, as I said, this isn't super easy to do, so I'm going to show you points where it will show the hit marker, but it doesn't actually allow you to open it. There's a specific part which will allow you to actually access the box itself. So if you try it, I always see in the comments, it doesn't work, it does. You just have to be very patient. What might be worth doing when you find that hit point, put a campfire to the left or right so you know roughly where that point is. You can just find it every time. Probably the best way to do it, or stick one of the little lights that we showed before for the door just on the ground so you know where the marker is. To build this, very simple, very easy. All you have to do is put 2 foundations down or floor tiles, doesn't really matter, and put your box underneath. Now I haven't tried it from below, I'm pretty sure it may actually work, so you can actually have it above as well. But that's something I'm going to experiment with, especially for a new base I'm trying to do, which has a lot of tricks. But again, you're going to have to make sure that you're very patient with finding the hitbox. Now I'm going to do this in real time after I built it, because I need to now find the hitbox. Just want to prove to people that you will struggle to find it first, but when you do find it, mark it off and you've got it then. I don't want to show it, then people will just struggle to find it, because personally, I found it difficult at first as well and thought it might have been patched, but just taking the time to actually find exactly where the hitbox was for the box, it became very easy. I found it every single time afterwards. Now, this changes it for a lot of solo players and even clans really, because if you have floors in place, you can do this, and this does work in armoured, but it is very hard to do with armoured. Now, the hitbox is literally a millimetre. That's why I'm not showing it, because it's just, honestly, it's annoying to actually use metal floors, still 8 rockets, just armour round about it. That's probably your best way of doing it. Now, using this will seriously cuck any raiders, because they're going to have to spend 8 rockets to go through the floor to get to that loot. Just how it's going to be. If you separate it and split it, it turns it into 16. Very effective, especially in early game as well. Makes it a very OP thing to use. Credit to Buds finding this. I personally wouldn't even thought about looking for it, but he did. He also found that if you use a scope, you can actually see through the floor, which is a bit strange. but it's Rust, and that's how Rust works. So you can see now I've found the hitbox for this. Done it in real time, as I said, because I want to show it actually takes a bit of time to find it, but as soon as you find it, that's you're laughing. Put your campfire down so you know what it is, and voila, you're done. Now, as I said, we're doing a skin giveaway. Just leave a comment below, tell me which trick you think is best. If you found any of these new to you, please drop a like, because then I know that it's worthwhile doing these videos again if I find any more finds and bunch them together rather than doing little crappy 1 minute videos of this is it. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.